Shalom, Israel. This your boy New Breed coming through with another live stream. For those that join this stream, make sure you thumb the video up. I'm going to allow YouTube to send the notifications out. What's good with you, family? I'm glad you made it. What's good? Who we got all up in here? All right. Yeah, man, y'all coming in pretty quick. I'm glad y'all catching another stream. What's good with you? Y'all, we got to talk about it. God's wrath is coming. I'm going to be straight up with you. The writing has been on the wall. Hopefully y'all can see me and hear me clearly. How didn't we see this coming? The writing has been sprawled all across the wall, y'all. I mean, how couldn't we know that our economic system couldn't be held up? How couldn't we see it? We should have known our economic system was not sustainable. I mean, look at it. Every other year, the news broadcast tells us that we're trillions of dollars in debt. The people who actually built the country, the slaves, the indigenous people who were destroyed, you didn't even pay them for their labor. According to the Bible, it says, woe to the land that's built upon blood. So, I mean, we had to know that the economics were non-sustainable. We have to know that God's wrath is coming, right? I mean, if you're looking at biblical history, you know that when gay marriage was taking place in Sodom and Gomorrah, you know that he rained hellfire and brimstone on it, right? We had to know that. Now, I know I've been coming with these back-to-back live streams because it seems like TD Jakes and Creflo Dollar, Benny Hinn, and the rest of them, it seems like they're on vacation right now. So, you know, it's time to talk. I mean, we had to know that God was kindling an anger, right? We had to know that his fury was building up. I mean, think about it. How many religious idols have been knocked down within the last 10 years? You had the huge geisha statue that fell down, knocked down. You had that image, that false image of Jesus knocked down, struck by lightning in Brazil. You have all these religious idols falling off the podiums. We had to know that God's wrath is coming, right? In this video, we're going to talk about the pending war that's about to take place in the spiritual realm. We're also going to talk about the wrath of the Almighty God, because I think throughout Christian theology, we've been confused. I think that we've become unaware of the type of God that rules from heaven and what's to come to this earth. And I want to talk about what that's going to mean for us. I want to talk about what's that going to mean for the oppressors and those who do evil. And we're going to go into the fiber of the word. And we really got to talk about this, y'all. See, lately, the Most High has been speaking to me. I mean, really dealing with me and letting me know what's taking place spiritually. Like he's kindling a fire of an anger. Like the anger that he's kindling is going to consume a lot of people. Like the Most High is not happy with this world right now. And he's going to force you to either turn to him or be destroyed. There's no other options. There's no other options but to follow his word, his laws, honor his commandments, or you're going to be destroyed in this day and age. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm going to be direct. I'm going to be upfront with you. That's what it's coming to. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. This flame and this anger that's coming out of the Lord Almighty is worldwide. It don't matter if the powers that be, satanic powers that be, hide in mountains. It don't matter if they got little underground bunkers with Skittles and snacks and Kit Kat bars. It don't matter if they got flat screen TVs with, recliner chairs. It don't matter if they got steel alloy doors. I'm telling you right now, no matter where you are, the plagues are going to come upon you if you do not follow the Almighty in this day and age. I'm telling you right now. Before we really dig into the fiber, I want y'all to thumb this video up. This is what they need to know right here. Because not only am I going to talk about what's to come, but I'm going to talk about how we should be moving. And I'm talking about how we should plan the changes that's going to take place in this world, because the world is not going to be the same. The world is going to change dramatically. And I want to let all those elected, chosen people out there know what type of changes are going to be made and how to maneuver through these changes. All right? Now, first of all, you got to begin to honor God's laws. The scriptures, the book of John tells us, if ye love me, keep my commandments. If ye love me, keep my commandments. See, God doesn't think like man. God is action oriented. If you love God, like in the Christian church, they say, I love God. I love me some Jesus. I love, love, love. But according to the word, if you love him, you got to honor the laws that he put in place. See, man has laws and God has laws. If you don't honor God's laws, there's going to be punishment. All right? Now, a lot of people adhere to man's laws. No problem. We follow the traffic laws. Hell, we follow the laws so much that right now in this time, where crime is practically legal in some states, people are still honoring the law of the land. So we need to have that same wherewithal and that same commitment to God's laws. Straight up. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. See, the Most High is going to cause you to be under bond to his covenant. Now I want you to look at this. Right now, with everything being shut down and everybody being under quarantine, and lots of things seem to be happening of biblical proportion. Right while all of this is happening, we are right in the midst of Passover. Think about that. Now, for those who are not familiar of what Passover is, according to the Bible, the door had to be marked with blood to stop the angel of death of coming in and snatching up the firstborn son. And now, right now, we're dealing with plagues. That's the plague of Egypt. Right now, we're dealing with plagues. So history is repeating itself. And unless you are under the fold, under the shadow and covering of the Almighty, your household will be at risk and be at jeopardy. So by force, really, we're going to be in our homes and we got to make a decision. Do we want to honor God's laws? Because listen, they shut down Easter. Easter shut down. No more putting on your Sunday's best. No more getting orange and crispy. No more Easter egg hunts. They shut it down, right? So now you have a golden opportunity to actually open your book that your pastor, that lying bastard, that lying snake never showed you. Now it's time to open up that book and find out what's really in it. Now it's time to find out what's really in the book. Because now you have a choice. The Most High is forcing you to look at his laws, his covenant, his rules that you live by. See, you have holidays and then you got holy days. The scriptures have real holy days. These holidays were made up by man. All the holidays are man-made. All of them are pagan. All of them are satanic. Your church is not going to tell you that. But hey, the cat's out of the bag. Who cares now, right? They done already ran off with the plug twice. They done ran off with your bag. Now they gone. So they don't care. The cat's out the bag. They done gave up. Listen, some of these pastors got $800 million. They not worried about y'all. They told you if you sow a seed that you was going to be blessed, right? Now there's no jobs. Now there's an economic collapse to the point where the middle class is non and void. Now, I'm not going to just talk about problems and not bring solutions on how to move. God's wrath is coming. And all of the things that we're supposed to have been doing as people, we're going to be forced to do that. Let me give you an example. We are supposed to be self-sufficient. When your enemy refuses to give you fair recompense, when the people who are in control fail to give you what's yours, you have to start to be self-sufficient. You're commanded to be set apart all through the Bible. Listen, the word holy literally means set apart. The word holy means set apart. So if your enemy is not taking care of you, now you're being rationed for food. Now they're telling you, hey, you only can get one loaf of bread. When you're not being, and I'm telling you, it's families that got 7, 8 people. There's families of 6, families of 5 that can only buy 2 frozen pizzas right now. So now what we're being forced to do is learn how to become self-sufficient. Learn how to live off the land, plant gardens. And this right now is a wake-up call. The Most High is waking up his people. He's shaking y'all up. He's saying, listen, I want you to come out of her, my people, or be partakers of her sins, like the book of Revelation says. The book of Revelation says, come out of her, my people, or be partakers of her sins, meaning be set apart. Be set apart. So what does that mean? What's essential now? Well, agriculture, medical supplies, farmland, fruits and vegetables, gold, silver. Do y'all hear me? I'm dropping some jewels right now. This is what the world is coming to. A trading system, a bargaining system. Gold, silver, agriculture, land, fruits, vegetables, farmland, self-sufficiency. People who have the wherewithal and the understanding to never get complacent in a system, any system, that tells you it's okay for 2 men and 2 women to walk down the aisle and say wedding vows and then call it holy matrimony. Will you look at that? If that ain't the most blasphemous thing ever. So any place that you reside in the world that's allowing that, oh, there's an anger that's being kindled by the Most High God. And I'm going to get into some of this word, because if you think that the Most High God is not a God of war, wrath, destruction, utter chaos. And when I say utter chaos, I mean he's going to force everything to go into chaos at some point. because the order out of chaos that they're talking about is not real. The order out of chaos they're talking about, when the order does come out of chaos, it's going to be a new world as we know it, and it ain't going to be ruled by the same people. Let me repeat that. The order of chaos that the satanic elite are talking about, once it's ordered out of that chaos, the same people who ruling won't be the same people. Oh no. Oh, it's going to be new people. It's going to be the chosen. It's going to be the elected. It's going to be the righteous. Won't be the same people. Now, let's talk about it, y'all. Because I don't think they know. And if they know, they act like they don't know. Romans chapter 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. See, the satanic powers that be, they know the truth. See, they conditioned and made this society atheistic right underneath our noses. But they already knew God was real. They knew the devil was real. They knew that prophecy was going to come true. They know the history. They know it all. But they use that to manipulate. The Most High sees everything. So the ones you think who are in control, they're going to be the ones who are the blunt of the aggression. But first and foremost, the elected, the ones he really want, the chosen people, the royal bloodline, the ones he really want, you're going to get the pressure first. You're going to get the pressure first. That's why you see in prisons undergoing genocide right now. That's why a disease was able to start off in Wuhan, China, and now they're claiming that black people in urban communities are the most vulnerable and the most susceptible of getting this virus because they know who they want to exterminate. All right? But here's the thing. The Most High is putting the pressure on you to turn to him. He's putting the pressure on you. You have nowhere to turn. The walls are closing in. You're stuck in your house. When are you going to call out to your God? The God of the Bible that you try to dismiss? The same God that split the Red Sea? The same God that delivered those people out of Egypt right when Passover, right after Passover, is the same God calling out to you now. And that's the truth. Wrath and judgment is coming. And I'm going to tell you, you want to be written of in that book of life. And everything I'm saying to y'all, I'm saying it to myself too. Because I got work to do. We all do. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. Now, does that sound like rose petals, hugs, bath? But here's the beauty of all of this. You have a choice. You could come under the rod of the covenant. You could begin to actually open that book up and learn your true identity. And I'm not talking about ID 2020. I'm talking about your true identity, your biblical purpose in life. Or you can rely on the same people who created the problem. Because then you know what they do. It's problem, reaction, solution. You gonna let them be your daddy, or you gonna call to the Most High God, the Father that art in heaven? I mean, the pressure's on. Man, let me tell y'all, I had a dream And this is what even provoked this video to really start speaking about the anger that's being kindled. What I dreamed was shocking. I mean, it almost made me fall face first when I first woke up in the morning. When I got up in the morning, I almost fell straight to my face, you know. I mean, it was so real. It was like I want y'all to picture I want you to picture being able to see God's anger like as an energy source. And this energy source is just growing. Like the same way when you look on the news, right? When they show the spread of the coronavirus, the way they have the map and it's spreading, imagine being like in the air, looking at the earth, and you seeing this aura spread. And the more this aura spread, the more terror comes over your body. That's what I was dreaming. Like the way that they were painting it, how on the news, how the coronavirus spread, that's how God's anger was spreading. You understand? And it was just consuming people. But here's the crazy part. Everybody that it consumed, I can hear voices of him pleading with them to stop doing what it is they doing, to turn away from it, to turn away from these wicked churches because they are not for you, to get out of that strip club, to stop serving your people those drugs. Like, just trust me, turn to me. Here it is, you selling them drugs on the street and you going in and out of prison, people shooting at you. How about just rely on me, turn to me, I'll make a way for you. Like giving all these people chances and pleading with them. And then it just turns to anger. It turns to rage. He becomes a jealous God because how stubborn people are. Even in the midst of all this going on, there are people who are still hopping their happy ass on IG, twerking, you know what I'm saying, showing their ass to everybody. You still got these dudes promoting this in a time, and I'm talking about men who have voices. Instead of using their voice to promote awareness, they using their voice to try to make our women prostitutes. That's what these celebrities are doing, y'all. That's what they're doing. And let me say this as well. To all the young ladies out there who feel like they don't have no other way but to display their body for cash apps, to get online and show their body, I want to let you know firsthand how dangerous what you're doing is. Because I've done my research on these numbers. I looked at the fact that people are missing. I got an understanding that there's no way that so many missing women and children could be possible unless it was orchestrated, unless it was being allowed on some type of level. And I'm not saying allowed by whom. I'm not blaming anyone. But I'm saying on some level, it's being allowed, all right? I'm not going to point to any conspiracies. But I find it real far-fetched to believe that living in a surveillance state, that all of these women and children can go missing with nobody seeing it. You got camera phones everywhere. You got cameras on every corner. The phones have tracking devices. All of the vehicles have GPS system which can track. And nobody's being recouped. That stands out to me. So what I want to say is this. Putting yourself on the internet, a net is used to trap something. You get it? Internet. You catch fish with a net. You catch things with a net. The World Wide Web, a spider catches its prey on a web. Gang stalking then got way more sophisticated. This technology is being used to watch you. Listen, if you want to shake and twerk online, better believe they know exactly where you at. They know exactly where you at. I'm telling you and I'm warning you that what you're doing is dangerous. They can see you. Google now, listen, I could be in my house. I can go eat something. Right after I eat it, I can get on my phone and Google will know exactly what I just ate. Give me the recipe and everything. That's how real it is. So you telling me that these women who showing their whole body on their phone online can't be tracked to some weird creep that lives in Dubai somewhere who wants to, defecate and urinate all over? Because that's what's happening in Dubai. People getting kidnapped, defecated on, and urinated on. And some of these women are getting flown out to do it. They know it's to come. Anything for money. But anyway, let me not divert. I'm keeping it real with y'all right now. We got to turn to our God. We are left with no options. This fire and this wrath is coming. And it ain't going to be no joke. Especially for countries that allow the same sins of Sodom and Gomorrah. Countries that are displaying the same activity of the days of Noah. In the days of Noah, they were genetically splicing animals. They were creating creatures. I mean, there was all kind of things going on. Places in the world that are doing this, that's what's going to get slammed first and the hardest. So we got to wake up. We got to wake up, y'all. Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 2. God is jealous, and the Lord revenges, is furious. The Lord take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. Man, that sounds fierce, man. That sounds like something I should fear. I don't really fear no virus or no sickness. I don't really fear the quote-unquote government. And the only reason I say the government is because it seems that there's no trust between society and the government. Nobody trusts the government no more. That's all of a sudden. But what if I told you the writings on the wall for what's taking place in society, it's been sprawled on the wall for a long time. But anyway, I don't fear anything but God. I see a lot of social media personalities telling people, if you're not scared by this, I don't know what to tell you. You should be scared. Telling you what you should be scared of. How about this? I'm scared of the Most High God's wrath and judgment because I understand that he controls everything. Every piece on this puzzle, he controls it. Can't nothing happen to me unless he says, you know what, it's your time. It's time for judgment. And when that happens, hey. But can't nothing scare me. And I hope you take on that same spirit of courage and tenacity in this day and age. The only way you should be afraid is if you know that you're not honoring his laws. You're not turning to him. Open that book up. All those brothers who sitting in a jail cell right now, watching bodies getting carried out. Because that's what's happening. All you brothers who are watching bodies get carried out, don't be afraid. This is a time of war. Right now, you should lift up your head, open up that book, and find out what's written in it. Because John, the Revelator, the one who wrote the entire book of Revelations, he was in jail before he was exiled to the island of Patmos. He came into the truth in bondage. And you know what? He woke so many people up, they had to open the gates up. You know why they had to open the gates? Because their God of fear and deception cannot contend with our God. And they know that. Anytime our God is present, they cannot contend with it. They cannot go against it. They are forced to do what they got to do. So when you turn to your God, there's power in that. They say you hide something from a black, you hide something from a black person, you put it in a book. Ain't that what they told you? Why else do you think in slavery when you were learning how to read, what did they do? They whipped you. They killed you. They castrated you. Because they didn't want you to go into that book. The only book that you had access to was the Bible then. Think about it. People were sneaking, learning how to read that book. They were killing them. Because when you read, they already know that our God is so powerful that it can just totally destroy what they're trying to build, what they're trying to do, the weapons that they're trying to make. The Most High God destroys all of it. So they wanted to stop you. So they put all of these churches in place. They put all of these various religions in place to try to get you out of that book. They put all of these people whose sole purpose was to discredit the book. And you still got those people on social media trying to discredit the book when that's the only answer right now. That's the only answer. None of these other books offer any tangible knowledge or wisdom. None of them. So now, you know, those same people who was trying to discredit, they're nowhere to be found. And the people who was manipulating the word, they're nowhere to be found. So you know what? Now it's time for you to personally open it up and read. Watch you find out how strong you are. Watch you find out your identity. Watch you become the hunter and not the prey. Watch these satanic powers bow before you because they know you can see. Listen, all you people who speak in truth, they know who you are. They know who I am. When they see me, they know they see somebody who can see. My eyes pierce their souls because they know I can see. Just like when Christ went and casted demons out of a man, before he even casted those demons out, what did those demons say? Hey, Christ, did you come to judge us before our time? Please, just send us into the pigs. That's how those spirits can recognize you. When you walk into a room of people who are defiled, demonically possessed, it's time for us to stop hiding. When you look at them like I see you in confidence. Like, yeah, we in that time. Your judgment about to come. Don't come over this side trying to start anything with me because I can see you. The demons are terrified. The gang stalkers are terrified. Have anybody noticed that their program slowed up a little bit? Has anybody in here noticed who are victims of gang stalking, targeted individuals? Have anybody noticed that your program has slowed up right now a little bit? Uh-oh, they're trying to knock the chat out. Okay, we right back. Don't you find that interesting? That it's starting to slow up? Because you know why? Your God is coming closer and closer and closer to destroying those wicked people. Because you are wicked. If you gang stalking somebody, if you have followed people, harassed them, pop air in people's tires, cyber bullied, cyber stalked, lied, and you did that for a Walmart gift card, if you did that to be a part of the hive, to be a part of those people of the group mentality, the Most High is going to eradicate you. You better repent. You better repent. And now those same ones that you sat there and watched with despitefulness and torture, those same people that you watch are becoming empowered and enlightened. The Most High is changing them. He's changing the minds. He's empowering the people. And now your worst nightmare is taking place. And now it's a panic-demic. That's right, a panic-demic. They push the red button and they like, hold on now. They wasn't intimidated by us watching them, stalking them. They wasn't intimidated by the harassment, the cyberbullying. the street theater, the watching at the workplace. And now they finding out that no weapon formed against them will even prosper. And their God is actually coming with wrath and judgment. Revelations 20 and 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. See, you targeted individuals. You are written of in the book of life. See, before you were even born, before you were even placed on this planet, before your mom and dad consummated, in the spiritual realm, the Most High put a mark on you. This mark was designed to make all things in the spiritual realm be able to see you, whether it be demonic or it be angelic. And what it was meant to do was to chastise you, to create your character, to mold you like clay. Literally, you targeted individuals. The Lord himself, he molded you for the time that you're living in right now. He molded you like clay to become something great. And now, everything that you went through is beginning to make sense to a lot of y'all. Some of us had to be born into abusive situations. Some of us had to see things that a child was never supposed to see. Some of us had to go through things that a child was never supposed to go through. But the overall picture was it made you who you are now. It made you who you are. You were handcrafted. Think about this, y'all. Without some of the things we've been through, some of the mistakes that we made earlier in life, we would have never made those mistakes. We would have been making those mistakes right now in the midst of judgment taking place. Wrap your mind around that. If you didn't go through what you went through earlier in life, you would have been making those same mistakes right now in the most dangerous time to make them. That's grace. So even your chastising was grace. He never let you veer too far off. You couldn't do what the rest of the world was doing. It made you feel strange, right? Even when you had those moments and time periods where you would veer off and you would just do what the rest of the world was doing, he had to reel you back in, reel you back in. You either lost something or you were chastised. You had to sit down for a minute. You had to lose that damn job. You had to lose this. You had to lose that girlfriend. You had to lose that boyfriend, whatever. You had to lose those people. You had to be knocked back down just to be prepared and chastised the right way. It's all in his plan. It's all in the grand design, y'all. It's all in the grand scheme of things. And now you able to stand strong. Do you know how many people right now are straight up suicidal being on quarantine? These are the statistics that they're not covering. Do you know what the divorce rate is right now? The divorce rate is sky high because people were avoiding the inevitable. The Most High is dividing, separating the wheat and the tare, and the line is being drawn in the sand. Now we got to face the world for what it is. And all of the people who are terrified, you were molded in such a way. Think about this. What you see seems to be scary to the average person, right? Y'all not scared, right? Because everything you know to be is happening. The prophets would have loved to live in this time right now because they know the coming of the Lord is soon upon us. And that's the real deal. And God's wrath is coming. All those who persecuted, all those who refused to turn to him, you're going to be judged. Luke 12 and 5. But I will forewarn you, whom ye shall fear, fear him. which after he have killed, have power to cast into hell. Yes, I say unto you, fear him. Fear him. Some people probably sitting there who have learned from the Christian church probably haven't heard this before. I know some of y'all sitting in your homes like, I'm not fearing nobody. God didn't put us here to fear him. He's supposed to love us. See, you're trying to create your own God. You're trying to make the rules for God. You're trying to make your own God. God didn't put me here to fear him. Oh, you're going to find out. If you don't turn from your ways, you're going to find out the wrath and judgment of God. And that you should be very, very afraid. Listen, just having a dream, being introduced to what like I had so much fear. And I'm gonna tell you, anything else going on in this world doesn't bring me fear. That's not the feeling I get. But that dream of what the Most High's anger looks like I can visibly see what his anger looks like. And I can hear him pleading with people in my dream. It terrified me, yo. I'm talking about face down, like, oh my gosh, like, what did I just see? What did I hear? And I'm telling you now, our people in the hoods, the minorities, the same people they telling you on the news that are getting hit with the C virus more than anybody, the Most High is dealing with y'all right now. He's dealing with us right now. And if you don't turn, if you still trying to be a thief, a liar, a manipulator, if you still want to play with tarot cards, if you still want to do your witchcraft and play with your Ouija boards, if you still want to bring idols into your home, if you still want to, let me tell you something. I've seen people lined up in these churches, in the actual parking lot. They can't get away from that church so much. They go into the parking lot having services. Got the preacher on the intercom while they in the parking lot. Boy, oh boy. If you still want to do all of these things, if you still want to stimulate your pineal gland taking DMT, you still want to meditate the Buddha, you still want to play with your chakras, you still want to call the psychics, the psychic friend hotline, Miss Cleo, and find out your future. If you still want to do these things, the Lord is going to totally wipe you out. You are going back. We are going back underneath the covenant like the days in Egypt, or plagues are going to start hitting people. I'm talking about it's going to be plagues like never before, because back then the plagues would happen in certain places. Let me explain the difference. In those days, it would happen in certain land masses. Imagine worldwide plagues taking place at one time. And it's just hitting certain households. People getting rolled out on stretchers because they don't want to honor the Lord. And he's forcing you to. He shut down everything that we supported. Everything that we built up. Shutting it down. He's forcing you to turn to him. If you don't turn to your book, then you are going to be judged. If you don't turn to your Most High God, the Lord that created you, that handcrafted you, that gave you chance after chance, that gave you grace, he's going to destroy you. Plain and simple. That's the times we living in. And everything that I'm saying to myself, everything that I'm saying to y'all, I'm saying it to myself. We all got things that we need to work on. We need to take those things serious. We need to take those things very serious. Psalm 75:8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of a mixture, and he poureth out of the same, but he drags thereof. All the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink of them. Man, all the wicked of the earth, he shall wring them out and drink of them. So when you see all these people dying, this is the mentality that you need to have right now moving forward. All you chosen elect. When you see all these people dying, you can't even get emotional no more. Because he's warning them. Like, if you seeing all these people dying in droves, I know it's going to be hard to see. It's hard to watch your people being destroyed. I get it. Trust me, I feel. I listen, when I seen what was going on in that prison system, a tear came down my eyes, man. Because I know that nothing separates us from them in that cell, in those jail cells. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when you see all this happening, just know, just know that the Most High God was pleading with that person. And they refused to listen. They decided to continue being stubborn. And he said, I'm going to judge them. Unless it was just their time. Let's use discernment here. Unless it was just their turn. But a lot of these plagues are going to be hitting people who refuse to turn to him. Those people who want to just follow their own little doctrine and make up their own religion and be super deep. No, it ain't that deep. It ain't even that deep. You got one God. He's in control. He's angry as hell because of the laws that's been passed on the land. He's angry as hell because everybody is lascivious and everybody is dealing with each other with no type of chastity. Nobody has respect for each other. Nobody has love for each other. The love of many waxing cold. He's angry. He is pissed off. I mean, listen, y'all. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. Prepare your minds for this. And it don't matter where you at. But I will say this. The way we need to move is focus on being self-sufficient. I don't care. Let me explain this to y'all. Let me explain this. I don't care if everything seems to go back to normal. This world will never be the same again. Even if your malls open back up, even if everything seems to be normal, your parks, your beaches, the booty club, if all of that seems to work like normal, right? I'm going to tell you this. If you have not learned from what just happened, your doom will be sudden. It won't be no time. It'll be sudden. Because what you're seeing right now is there's a lack of food in the grocery stores. What you're seeing is if they cut off food trucks, they can starve you out. What you're seeing right now is agriculture take a shift. What you're seeing is that these people who supposed to take care of you and love you, they ain't there. If you continue to put your trust in a system that is clearly failing, then so be it. You're gonna have a real problem in your hands. So what do we do? Because I don't talk about problems without bringing solutions. It's time for the righteous to come together under one accord. It's time for us to become self-sufficient. We're being forced to be set apart. We're being forced to and I'm going to speak to those who have resources as well. Even those who have resources, I'm going to give you some advice. I gave this advice earlier. I'm just going to use these words. Agriculture, farmland, silver, gold, medical supplies. That's what's essential. Forget about investing in anything else if you have the ability to invest in something. You want to make sure you maneuver in a way where you can hold your own without relying on Satan. Because guess who controls this system? It's Satan. And if you continue to trust Satan, he's going to make it so you have no choice but to be under his control. because they want it to the point where the money is gone. If you look at it right now, what are we seeing right now? We see inflation nation right now. You can go to the market right now, have a very small selection of groceries. You can get a few things in your basket and you just spent $200. Everything's being inflated. So it's going to destroy the dollar. The dollar is going to be completely wiped out. Once the dollar is wiped out, they're going to have to rely on digital federal currency. Once things go digital and you can't live off the land and you can't live off your resources, then guess what? You're still relying on your enemy. And everybody's not going to get this. I know everybody's not going to understand because everybody don't have the heart to make those type of moves and decisions in their life. Everybody don't have the wherewithal to actually adapt. But if I know anything about targeted individuals and people who are under these programs and people who can see, I know one thing. I know that y'all got the ability to adapt anywhere in the world. Y'all got the ability to survive anywhere in this world. You got the ability to hold your own. Don't let them take what you've learned being under subjection to this government that actually sent out people to stalk you based on the fact that you are empathetic, based on the fact that you represent truth, based on the fact that there's a light that's in you. Don't put your trust in Satan's system no more. Depart from her or be partakers of her sins. I see a lot of people with a lot of comments. I'm just in that zone right now, y'all. But everybody donated. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And y'all know that every donation that's sent go towards doing the work. All right? All of the donations that's being sent are going towards the Spiritual Retreat Jamaica, which we have 2 locations, Hanover, Lucia, and Negro, right outside Montego Bay, because we're putting our resources together among brethren, and we're trying to create a place. And we're not even trying. We have the places. Everything is a go. Everything is moving, and everything is moving right on time too. Now, when that window of opportunity opens up, I'm going to be reaching out. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of y'all who send in emails, and we're going to connect. We're going to connect, and we even have permanent residencies there that we're working out. Very, very soon, I am moving to Jamaica. All right, I will be residing in Jamaica very, very soon, family. So it'll be a lot easier for me to conduct all my business there. It'll be very easy for me to conduct all my business there, and also to just have a place for us to actually go, and everything will be ready. Yep, absolutely. And I've heard a lot of people like, hey, this stuff is going on worldwide, which it is. Don't be under the false notion that what's happening in the U.S. is not happening worldwide. The whole world is under this satanic frequency, okay? Let me explain it. The world leaders came together and they decided to do what they're doing right now. But I would like to say this. We want to maneuver to places where we can be self-sufficient. That's the point. When you can be self-sufficient, that you're a step ahead of the game. You're a step ahead of the game. And man, we got 1,000 people in the chat. And we got 530 likes. If y'all want to break in the Q&A, smash that thumbs up button and we can break in the Q&A. That'll allow more people to come in who have questions to be able to answer those questions. If we can get those thumbs up, I'll get into some of these comments because I just been going on and on because listen, y'all, the passion, when I had that dream, the passion just hit me like, and then I opened the book and I seen all the scriptures that the church didn't teach me about how angry the Most High is going to get in these days and times. So I had to like show y'all that like it ain't no joke. Let's see. What's your thoughts on angelic angel numbers? Are they biblical or demonic? So when it comes to numerology, I do believe that the Most High speaks to people differently. And sometimes you may see repeating numbers. And I feel like if you're looking them up scripturally using a concordance to see what those particular numbers mean, and you're doing it that way, I see it as harmless. Now you have the elitists or the Satanists. They also use numerology and they do it in a wicked way. Now, as far as they call angel numbers, I've actually never heard of that. I'm not sure what that is. Something I will have to research. But far as you seeing numbers and you going to see how that lines up with scripture or what that number means, I see that as being harmless. If you seeing a number every day and you match it with a scripture, then that's harmless. I believe that's how the Most High speaks us through numbers. Matter of fact, you have the book of Numbers in the Bible. So I do think he does speak to certain people through numbers. All right, let's see. Yep. Triple J says, remember that the enemy mimics everything that the Most High does. So when it comes down to angel numbers, it can be both. Okay, yeah, because you have fallen angels too. I mean, you got angelic angels who are positive, who protect us, and then you got demons, fallen angels. So sometimes you got to be careful with that. Somebody said, can you read Isaiah chapter 13? One moment. All right, what verses 6 through, let's see, what was it? 6 through 13. All right, Isaiah chapter 13, 6 through 13. All right, I could do that for you. I could do that. Let's see. I got my y'all bear with me one moment. Seems to be some lagging in my internet connection. Do me a favor and post that scripture so I can get to more questions. There's some lagging going on in my internet connection. I apologize for that. But if you could just post it, I can read it from here. Newbury, what's your thoughts about baptism? We will be conducting baptisms on a spiritual retreat. My thoughts on baptism is that's one of the ultimate ways of showing that you have sinned, that you are not perfect. That's one of the ultimate ways to confess in front of the Lord. So yes, I think baptism is very positive. So we will be doing baptisms. Thoughts on metalworking? Metalworking. Is metalworking considered essential right now? I want y'all to pay attention to what's considered essential right now at the moment. Newbreed, let me be a part of your retreat. Most definitely. Send me an email at kingbreed404@gmail.com, and send me your WhatsApp number. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this a little bit easier. I'm going to get a new WhatsApp and I'm going to make it so you all can just have my WhatsApp number, and you can contact me directly. I think that'll make it a little bit easier for y'all instead of having to go through all of these emails. So we're gonna try to do it that way for a while. So my next stream, I'm gonna try to make a WhatsApp, so you could just go ahead and shoot me. You could just call me off WhatsApp, or it's call me or text. I prefer you text though. I prefer you text, unless it's just something you need to know. Love from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for the offer, the awesome message with the scripture to back it. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, man, it's been great. It's been wonderful doing this stream with y'all. We went an hour strong. Um, I don't see many more questions. Let me see. I think all the questions was answered so far that people want to know, right? Well, I'd like to thank y'all for catching another live stream. Thank y'all for y'all support. We're gonna be doing more live streams often because TD Jakes and Queflo and Benny Hinn and all them, they didn't just left the scene. I don't know what's going on with them. But oh y'all, Kenneth Copeland said he was gonna spit on the coronavirus. Kenneth Copeland's so listen, if the coronavirus disappears, I guess we can all thank Kenneth Copeland, the same one who said, listen, he said, I don't care if you got a job or not, y'all better still run those tithes. So that's what's going on in the Christian church right now. They ain't doing a damn thing but exposing themselves. But anyway, man, I ain't gonna just keep going on and on. I'd like to thank y'all for watching. Hopefully this video was edifying. Make sure you share. Thank y'all. Shalom and peace.